So as I have been sitting here and talking to you about different points about growth and the scale trap and all sorts of stuff, one of the things I just briefly mentioned, which I want to talk a little bit more about in this video, is what size of business do you really want? And if we haven't met before, hi, my name is Adam Keeler. I own a home service business here in North Dallas, and for the past 5 years, I've been working on taking it from a startup to $1 million a year in revenue. And along the way, I've almost put my business into the ground twice. My hope has always been to have a thriving business that's profitable, but it has been way harder to achieve that than I thought. Until recently, where I've implemented a few key things to make that happen. And so my hope is that through this channel, I'll be able to help you get from a surviving business like I've had to a thriving one. So one of my videos, I talked about the scale trap, where if you're just constantly growing, well, what for? Where are you trying to get to? Like, what do you want? Are you growing because other people say you should grow? Is it because you see that other people have bigger businesses than you? Like, what do you want? What size of business do you want? And I had never really thought of that for myself because, when you start a business, it's like the way I started it, it was literally just me and a shovel and some business cards. So I went to neighborhoods 3 hours a day and I would put these business cards on the doors. I couldn't even afford door hangers or anything. So I did that, and then whenever somebody called, it would come to me and I answered it and would set up an appointment. And then I'd be super nervous to go to their house and ask them what kind of lighting they wanted, and then I would sell them on the lights. And then I'd order the product, come back, and install it. And when you start out like that, getting to the point where you then can make enough money to hire somebody, and then get to the point where you're gonna hire somebody else, then you can get a truck, you feel like you're finally building this business that you've dreamed of, or you finally feel like you're building this business. And so you kind of get stuck with your eyes down, looking at your business and not being the CEO, looking to see where the business can go, and you're just kind of just doing the day-to-day stuff to the point where you're kind of just doing the day-to-day stuff. And so when I actually stepped back and had to ask myself, what kind of a business do I want? I realized I wanted a business that could operate on its own, stand on its own 2 feet, and not need me. And so whatever I do in the business is what I want to do, rather than I'm the one wearing all the hats and I have to be in there no matter what. Because I used to be the one that wore all the hats, and if I stepped away, then the business would fall apart because the business was me. And so my goal was to build a business that was the business, and then I could be an employee of the business. And I'm like, that's what the goal was. And I think that's the goal for most of us anyways, at the beginning before we start. I talk to a lot of people who want to start their business, and it's, they have all these dreams, like, I'm gonna make all this money, I'm gonna have all this free time, the business is gonna run on its own, I'm gonna get out of corporate, whatever it is. We all have these dreams of having it be a thriving, profitable business, and then we kind of get stuck. And then we have to step back and wonder what the heck's going on and what do we even want? In my other video where I talked about scaling just for scaling's sake, when you step back and realize you don't need to scale, okay, then where do you want your business? What do you want it to look like? How big do you want it to be? The nice thing is, in one of my other videos that I just recorded, is I talk about these sweet spots. So the idea of staying in one of those sweet spots. So pick which one you want, pick the sweet spot, and then just work to get there. And when you're there, just build and improve it while it's there. So the first sweet spot is around $750,000 in revenue. And that one versus the other one at 1.5 million this one has fewer employees, fewer expenses, which equals less stress. And the funny thing is, the 1.5 million doesn't mean that you're going to be making twice as much. you'll probably make about the same amount of money as the owner. Because here you practically have to double your business in order to get these results. And so that ends up taking up a lot of the extra money. So thinking of the two, the one I like better is the $1.5 million. And the reason why is because I feel like the business is a lot more established. And if a key player leaves, we're not scrambling. Whereas this bottom one, you probably need to step in for a little bit until you hire somebody new, which isn't bad. I just want a business that can run on its own. And so that's the one that I like the best. I've never made it to the one past it, the 2.7 million. And if I ever do, then I'll make a video and I'll let you know how it is. But the whole concept of this video is figure out what you actually want in your business. It can go even further than just the size of the business and how much revenue you're bringing in. But you can figure out what kind of culture you want, what kind of systems and processes do you want, what kind of customers do you like to work with? Do you work with just everybody that has a pulse and wants to spend money, or do you choose the customers that you like to work with? So what kind of business do you want? And if you're interested in learning more about my journey and my experience taking a startup all the way to $1 million and taking it from just surviving to thriving, then click on this video right here or in the description below. There's a link and it will take you to that video. With that being said, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.